for the show. Joe Wadio and my bro Paco. About to bring that laugh attack, yeah, about that. Make you laugh out loud, cause this is where it's at.
This is the best podcast that you'll ever hear. It's nice and comforting just for your ears. We got gimmicks and skits with limitless wits, making other podcasters just quit. Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's the man they call Paco, posted up in the cut like a bandage. And this is Paco's Power Hour, you know?
Yeah.
And basically, today we got special guest. Gene, go ahead and introduce yourself. I mean, you're not a stranger to this.
Not at all, not at all. Yes, you
Yeah. I was waiting for you. I thought you was just gonna jump right in,
yeah,
man.
sorry. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Apologies. The name officially, legally, government name, Gene Banyard. I've been on here before as the Dark Mark from Down Under, Cinema Baron, but I'm changing it all up. And now I'm Mr. Popcorn, but I'll explain more about that later on. But yeah, pleasure to be back on Paco's Power Hour, and good to see you again, my man.
Yes, good to see you, man. Glad to have you back on, and glad to do another show. You know, it's been a while. Also, we got a special guest, my blood cousin, Ronny. Go ahead and say what's up, Ronny.
What's going on? I'm just here for medical support and make sure no one gets hurt.
Right. You know, we get real excited over here at Paco's Power Hour. We don't know how to control ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen.
Yeah. All right. So basically today we're going to do an album review of, let me see. Hold on. The album is called Billmatic. It's by Ill Bill. You know, I think this is for it's for his upcoming, it's like anticipating his upcoming album, Billy, which is coming out on the 28th, you know?
Yeah. It's a mixtape, if you will, I reckon.
Yeah, of course. A mixtape.
Yeah.
You know, that's how he does it. So basically, we'll get right into it, man, you know, because I don't really got anything else to say. Here's the cover for Billmatic. As you can see, it's reminiscent of Nas, you know, like tribute to, if you will. Yeah, so basically, go ahead, Ronny, why don't you start it off, man? What are your thoughts on this album cover?
Well, I noticed that he pays a lot of homage to the Illmatic album. He even has 10 tracks on his mixtape, which is the same amount of tracks. It's also on Illmatic.
Okay.
So I was looking at that earlier. So he even pays homage to Illmatic in one of the tracks. He even like states Illmatic in one of the tracks. I think it was like track number 6, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, Gene, what are your thoughts on this album cover?
On the album cover itself, well, yeah, it's Billmatic, Illmatic, definitely a tribute. It's very similar to the Illmatic cover, but of course there's a young, I'm assuming that's Bill himself there on the cover.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. As a young ball, whatever they say, but I'm from Australia, I don't speak the slang. But that's him as a young kid there on the cover, yep. And with the font there, you see Illmatic, but it has the B there. Which is, of course, Ill Bill from Brooklyn. I think it's a good cover. It's catching. I like the graphic style on it as well. It's dope.
Yeah, you know, I like it. It just, he pays tribute. Ill Bill loves hip hop so much, you know what I mean? He always pays tribute to hip hop. He's always got a lot of respect for the game. And, for this album cover, I feel like it shows that. You know what I mean? He's really into this. This is his life. You know what I mean? And basically, he wants to leave a stamp in the game, just like Nas, and basically pay tribute.
Well put.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start the review. Who wants to start it? You know what, Gene? Why don't you start it? We're gonna go ahead and go with criteria one, which is the lyrics. What are your thoughts on Ill Bill's lyrics on this album?
As you well know, there, Paco, I fucking love Ill Bill. He's definitely in my top 10, if not top 5. And I mean, like Ill Bill's lyrics are ridiculous. You know what I mean? He's got better over age. The imagery that he conjures with his lyrics, I mean, they're very dark, they're very violent, but as you say, they're very hip hop though as well. So he has like, yeah, crazy imagery, but he keeps it very street though as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know he's talking about the government and Illuminati and that sort of thing, and he brings in black magic and cults. He calls himself the cult leader,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but it's still very hip hop. It's still very street. He's not a horrorcore rapper or anything like that, even though he's probably darker than the majority of horrorcore rappers out there.
Yeah.
But like people, like Ill Bill is also a heavy metal fan as well. Yeah.
Mm,
Um, and so there's a lot of lyrics that you know you could compare to a lot of heavy metal lyrics as well. So, which is one of the reasons I like him being a heavy metal fan as well. And this, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is just another example of how he just gets better and better with his lyrical style. And yeah, Billmatic, of course, is the build up to Billy, the album dropping very, very soon. And if this is just a teaser, a taste, I can't fucking wait for the actual album. So
right.
I believe we have to rate it out of 5 there, Paco. That's how we do this
Yeah,
here.
that's correct. I
Yep.
was about to say that to you. Go ahead.
Yep. So I will give. Okay. Hmm. I'll give it a 4. The only reason I don't give it a 5, because I mean, a lot of these lyrics are a play on tracks from Illmatic, and then there's Made You Look Crispy, which is crispy play on Crispy Innovators from the most recent nonfiction. No, sorry, my apologies, La Coca Nostra album.
Yeah.
So it's not all entirely original, even though it's remixing, you know, remixing other people's lyrics into his own framework. So if it's purely original, I'd give it a 5, but for this, I'll give it a 4, just to be, you know, to keep it level. Yeah, so 4 out of 5.
Great. Ronnie, can you please give us your thoughts on the lyrics?
I like the lyrics. Listen to it. His cadence, he can change his cadence up like,
Mm.
you know, exponentially. I mean, he has a lot of. He reminds me a lot of like Capadonna in some of his verses. Sometimes he even kind of reminds you of like Sticky Fingers. Like he just has like he's all over the place, but
Yeah,
he can
sure.
change his cadence up depending on whatever the beat is. You can tell he's definitely like been doing this for a long time. Um, the only thing that you know, he's he's not mainstream. You can tell because there's not a lot of hooks. So I'm gonna give his lyrics probably. I'll go with Gene like a 4. Definitely a 4. He does pay a lot of homage to a lot of other New York artists, especially in the same borough that he's from Marcy and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely give him like a 4, maybe 4.25.
Great, great. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. There's a lot of lyrics, that I've heard before. Bill, he's crazy with the lyrics. When he hits hard. You know what I mean? When something lands, it lands like hard and it's memorable. His lyrics have improved with his age. I do agree with that, and yeah, pretty much. But it didn't. There was only like I can only say there's probably like a few parts of the album that kind of took me off guard and like really impressed me. But for the most part, it's a standard Bill, and we can't wait for the Billy album to come out because we've already got a taste of it. He's got some
Yeah,
videos on YouTube that you can watch
yeah.
from that album, which are dope. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll go with the 3. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an appetizer. He didn't put his all into this. You know what I mean? Not like the album that's coming out. So it better be better than this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure it will be, man. Root for the
yeah.
Villain is better than the Soul album. No
Oh,
diss in this album,
yes.
but Root
No,
for the Villain's an incredible song.
right.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
and the
yeah,
video is awesome too. So let's
yeah.
go ahead and get into criteria number 2, which is it's the beats. Go ahead, Ronnie. You want to start off with the beats? What are your thoughts on these?
So I'm a big old school hip hop like fan. Like I've been my whole life. Like I like that he uses a lot of the Illmatic beats and some of the other Nas beats. He even uses like um, you know Iron Butterfly beat, on track 9. Like just the you could tell he kept it old school. He wasn't trying to be mainstream like a lot of these newer,
Huh.
you know, so-called hip hop artists or rappers or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I love his beats. I'm gonna give his beats like a 4.5, like just because I love old school hip hop, and that's just who I am as a
Sure.
person. So I'm gonna give him a
Sure.
4.5.
All right. You know what? We'll go ahead and do point fives here now. At Paco's Power Hour, we like to keep it whole numbers, but I like
Oh,
the point fives
then
because
then I'll go 5.
no, we'll do 4.5. I want to.
It is
I think
decided.
we should change it up a little bit because about that did whole numbers. Paco's Power Hour, we got point system over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll keep it funky and have 4.5. I like that. Gene, go ahead, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I agree with Ronnie, and sorry, I concur with Ronnie. I feel you on the liking of the old school beats. Certainly these with Illmatic because it's DJ Premier, one of the best to ever do it. On a lot of these anyway, certainly the Illmatic work stuff. But I will go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go a 4. I'm going to go a 4 because, like the lyrics, it's kind of a reworking of things rather than original fresh beats. Yeah. Um, so yeah. Maybe I'm being a bit biased because I want the new album to drop rather than a reworking of
Yeah.
old things, classic things. So I'm not going to give it any lower than a 4 because the Illmatic's one of the greatest albums, if arguably like from the East Coast anyway. Paco certainly in the top 3 hip hop albums ever to drop. And yeah, so these are beats worthy of reworking, worthy of revisiting. I get it, but I want to hear the fresh stuff. So for that, I have to give it a 4. Yeah.
Right. You know what? I'll go ahead and give it a 5. These are, a lot of legendary beats. And like we said, Il Bill, he loves hip hop. He respects it a lot. And he's paying homage with these tried and true beats. You know what I mean? You can't miss with these beats. I mean, unless you're whack. But Il Bill's not whack. So you know what? I like it. I like the beats. It's like a mixtape. You know what I mean? Which I used to love mixtapes back in the day. And I still do, but they don't come out like they used to. You know what I mean?
Which
Yeah.
is cool about this that he actually did. Yeah. Drop
Yeah,
one
and
when they're
even
not
that,
around anymore. Yeah.
even the whole style of this album is just paying homage to the mixtape, kind of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Totally.
that's
Yeah.
real love for the game right there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go ahead and keep it pushing here. Let me see, what do we got here? Uh features. You know what? I'll go ahead and start this one off. Features. I'll give him a 5. Everybody that was featured was on point. You know what I'm saying? Vinny
Yeah.
Paz, Slane.
Yeah.
Um, what's that one dude? Dude, I know his name. Nems. Everybody killed it. You know
Sure.
what I mean? As far as features, I'm giving it a 5. Everybody that showed up did their job and then went home. That's it. They didn't mess around. You know what I mean? They wasn't over there by the water cooler gossiping. They came, they did their job, and then they left. Well, I'm giving it a 5. Go ahead, Gene. Why don't you tell us what you think about the features?
I really like the features. I don't know if I'm fucking passionate about them as you are there, Paco, but that's cool. No, I joke. You're exactly right. Everyone brought their A game. You've got his gorilla twin Nems here on New York State of Smart, play on State of Mind. You have his heavy metal king brother, Vinny Paz, another one of my absolute favorites. Another guy who may as well be part of Heavy Metal Kings now, Lord Goat, once upon a time known as Gore-Tex, who was another one of my favorites. Slane's incredible. So you've got the La Coca Nostra, in there, Lord Goat with nonfiction. So he's representing his history again, like with this whole album with the features, yeah, because these are all people he's heavily worked with. So I agree because of all that. 5 out of 5, definitely.
Great. Ronnie, your thoughts?
All right, you're gonna hate me. I'm not gonna give it a 5. I like the features. I like the features. Um, I like when you feature an artist. Like, I'm not gonna say they didn't show up and do their job, but I feel like Bill definitely outshined all of the features on his his album, and sometimes you want to elevate them. So I'm gonna give him a 4 on that.
Or it's not
There were
bad.
good features, but um,
Mhm. Mhm.
sometimes you just want that one feature to kind of like push it a little
Right.
bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. They did show up to work, they did their job, but they did it a little poorly, is what you're saying. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
I think Nems had the best feature on the whole album, but
Oh yeah, New York State of Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Nems is just sorry after you.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say Nems is such a fucking personality though. He can just come along onto a track and go bing bong, or like I think he says in this twinning from the whole little twins thing, and you remember it,
yeah,
yeah.
So you're saying Nems is your favorite feature on the album, and Gene, do you have what? Who is your favorite feature?
Shit. Um, yeah. It's Vinny Paz, but it's pretty much just from Crispy Innovators. I think it's the same verse actually.
Dude, I was gonna say
So
that.
yeah, so I can't really count that. So yeah, fuck it, it's Nems, yeah, because he's the one who stands out the most. And with a feature, I just listened to an hour and a half podcast about this before this, about feature killers, what the role of a feature is.
Yeah.
And you remember it. You remember his verse. That's one of the main goals of being a feature artist. You walk away from it and you remember that guy's verse. Yeah.
Right.
So because he's the one I remember the most, I'll give it to Nems.
Right. He did kill it though. You know what I mean?
he's
I'll
the
just say
only
Vinny
reason
Paz.
I didn't give it a 3. I'll say
Oh
that.
wow. Wow.
Okay.
So he
So
picked up the slack for the other guys, what you're saying. That's
yeah,
good. It's good. At least Vinny Paz killed it. He hit really hard. When he came on, I was like, oh, this Vinny? Yeah. So I don't know. I like Vinny a lot.
Same, of course.
So yeah, I give him a 5 on the features. And then now this one is number 4, which is the hooks. I know there were what? 2 hooks. Were there even any hooks?
I don't. Where was there? Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was a hook.
Yeah.
I think
Made you look crispy. They had the Crispy Innovators hook.
Oh yeah.
So
And then if a warlord ruled the
yeah,
world or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we can talk on it. Ronnie, why don't you kick us off with the hooks?
this is hard because the hooks that were there were good, the 2 hooks, but you know
2 hooks. Yeah.
his bars, he had 18 to like 21 per verse. He didn't need hooks, so
Right.
I'm still gonna give it a 5, just because
Uh-huh.
the 2 places that he did need hooks, they did their job. But
Right.
the other tracks, he didn't need a hook. You just got that
Yeah.
transition. So those 2 hooks, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Good. You know what? I'll give it a 2. I hated that warlord rule the world hook. It's garbage to me. You know
Which
what I
one's
mean?
that? How does that go? Is that the what's my drug of choice? I prefer
No.
pot. No.
Oh, I hated that one too. No, but the one that goes, "If I rule the world," and it's like warlord. It's like, oh, come on, what are we doing? It's garbage, dude.
I'm a
That's
big
from
Fugees fan. I'm a big
yes.
Fugees
There
fan,
you go.
so
There you go.
But it's not lowering that I didn't like. It was the whatever the other part. It didn't fit right. So I'm giving them a 2. And I'm a sucker for rap without hooks. Just going through it. I like that. But yeah, 2. So basically, right now, we're gonna go ahead and total up. You guys remember your scores, right?
Yeah, I give Hooks 3.5.
Okay, cool. So now let's just go over the total. I got let me see. I gave it a 16 out of 20. It could have been better because we know Bill. We know Ill Bill could have been much better. You know what I mean? But let's watch. I bet you Billy's gonna be a different story. It might get higher ratings for me. But yeah, so I gave it 16 out of 20. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Ronnie. What's your total?
17.5.
17.5. That's pretty good.
It's the
You know,
highest
because
score.
if it's a 20, it's a classic. You know, then it would be considered a classic. But it's pretty good for 17.5. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Gene. What is your overall?
16.5. Yeah, I love Bill, but this is just a taste. This is just a teaser of what's to come.
Yeah.
16.5 is still a good score. I still enjoyed it. It's a good listen. But I mean, it's only 25 minutes as well. I guarantee the album's going to be significantly longer as well.
Oh,
Um,
I saw the track listing. It is, yeah.
oh, we've seen is that out?
Yeah, it's on YouTube Music, but it's all blocked off except for the singles he already released. So you can,
Okay,
hear the
gotcha.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, so
You wanna?
16.5. Yeah, after you, Ronnie.
I have a interesting little fact. So Illmatic came out April 19th, 1994, which would
Ah,
have been 29
Oh
years ago
shit, really?
from yesterday.
yeah.
Just a little
Wow.
There we have Paco's Power Hour on the
tidbit.
button.
This is episode 19. Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
I planned it out like that. You
On
know,
Pulse
so
of
yeah,
Culture.
you're welcome.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Gene 16.5, I gave it a 16. Ronnie gave it a 17.5, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
We're all around the same area. You know, it was good, but it wasn't mind blowing. It didn't change anything for me. You know what I mean? It was just right there at my comfort level as far as, Ill Bill and listening to him. So I was comfortable with it. But I feel like he could have done better. But he probably did a lot better on the Billy album coming out on the 28th. So I can't wait
28th.
for
Is
that
that
one.
when it's dropping? The 28th of April.
Yes,
Oh,
April
fuck
28th coming
yes.
out. Billy,
Fuck
you
yeah.
know what
That's
I
next
mean?
week. That's next week. Fuck
Right.
yes.
Yeah. So I can't even wait for that. You know what? But this was just kind of like a taste.
Mhm.
And then I think he wanted to disappoint us a little to be like, oh, just
The
wait. Just
tease.
wait a
The
little bit longer.
tease.
Wait a
Yeah,
week.
tease. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
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 It,
Yeah. So
We've
that
got
was good.
we've got
it's
to
been
review
years
Billy
since
then.
I've listened to him.
Yeah.
It's been a few
But
years, so that to me, like this brought him back into like it's probably been about 5, 6 years since I've like listened to anything from him. So maybe even more
yeah.
than that. So brought me back into
Yeah. Yeah. I keep some Bill songs up in my playlist. So I hear him a lot, but recently I've been listening to his older albums and just really appreciating them. You know what I mean? Gene, what are your thoughts on the length of time that you spent listening to Bill in recent weeks?
Recent weeks. Can't say in recent weeks, but I have been keeping up with the singles that have dropped for Billy. Once Upon a Time in Canarsie with Lord Goats, fantastic. Leviathan was
Classic.
good. Smarten Up was good. But then Root for the Villain with Vinny Paz, and Cool G Rap. Yeah,
Yeah,
incredible.
that one's dope.
Yeah,
Classic.
yeah.
It's already a classic to me.
Mm.
And that video is so funny, right?
um,
No,
but no, I love him. I've liked him for a very long time. I forget where I first heard him or how I first heard him. It might have been the Hour of Reprisal album, which I still think is one of his best works. Yeah.
oh, absolutely. That's probably my favorite Ill Bill album.
Yeah, it's great,
That,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, and Kill Devil Hills with DJ Muggs. That
uh-huh.
album, that's fucking insane. Yeah. So there's a couple for people to check out if you don't know Ill Bill's older stuff or a place to start. Hour of Reprisal, then Kill Devil Hills with DJ Muggs. Those are my two favorites of his. Yes.
Yeah.
Keep breaking up, Paco.
How He Made Me Do It Part 3. That's one of my favorite albums from Ill Bill because it's kind of like a mix like this compilation, whatever, and it got a lot of features on it. But
Okay.
yeah,
I have to check that out. I don't think I've heard that one.
I'll definitely check it out. It's one of my favorites. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah. So
I'm
that
gonna
concludes
search for
the
it
album.
right now.
Good, it's
I
good.
do have to say I like how he has Jedi mind tricks in there, but by their names, not as like Jedi
Oh
mind
yeah, yeah,
tricks. You know, he has Vinny Paz and Stoop in there, but he has them like as their names, not like Jedi mind tricks. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Because back in the day, right, they would just be put on. All right, you know what? Let's we're a little rusty. I don't know if you guys could tell. I haven't done
Yeah,
we
we
haven't
are.
done a show
Yeah.
podcast in a while. It's been a while since we
Yeah.
had Gene on.
Yeah.
Ronnie's been on the show before, right? Or was that about that?
Once. It was about it's been a couple years.
Yeah. But you know what? You're more than welcome to come back on and talk about the Billy album when it comes out, which is next week, right?
I'm
Yeah.
ready. I already have it on my iTunes ready for download when it comes out. So
Right. Yeah. So we're a little rusty, but you know what? We're gonna keep it pushing with we're not gonna take too long. We're not gonna take too much of your time. We're gonna go ahead and go with the let me see what segment I can do here. Let me see. Do I have what's whack? A shout out segment. Go ahead and give shout outs. Gene, shout out anybody or whatever.
Shout outs. Shout outs winter. Starting to happen here in Australia because it's been fucking hot for far too long. The first month of winter or autumn. There's no autumn here. It doesn't exist. We have hot and cold, but it's been a month too long being hot. Yeah. And so we're just starting to settle down now. So yeah, shout out to winter because Australia, you guys from Texas and Arizona, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's too fucking hot. It's starting to get cold. Shout out to winter and cold weather. There you go.
Ronnie, tell us about the weather in Tejas.
Well, it's been it's usually about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than what you guys are over there in Arizona. So it's been nice. It's been like in the 70s here, like 75, maybe 80 over the last week. Breezy, so not too bad here in El Paso.
I think we got the same kind of weather because it's about 70, this evening. But it gets really hot. It's already been like 90 something degrees during the day. You know what I mean?
Our highs are in the 70s. We're not there yet.
Oh yeah, no, it's about to be,
you guys, you guys are going into summer. Yeah, of course,
yeah.
Okay.
It's strange for you to say shout out to the winter because it's coming this time of year. I was a bit offended by that, but I will let it slide. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to hold on one second.
Paco, hey, shout out to Paco.
There's my shout out. All right, you know what? Let's get into what's whack. All right.
I got a shout out first.
Oh, Ronnie, I didn't even give you a shout out option. I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead.
So I give a shout out to Rivas Burritos. They're from Arizona. They just opened out here in El Paso, and I can get my carne asada whenever I want. Just a little shout out.
I think I've seen that before. Where's it at? Do you remember where it's at over here?
It's over there. It's off 67th and Peoria, ain't it? Isn't that Rivas?
No, there's no. That's a Federico's.
I don't know. It all, but it reminds me of home. So yeah, it reminds me of home.
Right. They don't got fried chorizo out there, do they?
Yeah.
They got
no,
Kroger's.
we don't even have a Kroger's.
Wow. What do you got? Where do you shop at?
I shop at either Walmart or Sprouts. That's it.
Okay, cool. Gene, what's your favorite store to go to for groceries?
Woolworths, or what we call Woolies here in Australia.
Strange.
What words is he saying?
Yeah, fries is always the best.
Question though, we were talking about burritos. Yeah, so we don't have a lot of Latino people down here. We have a lot of Asians down here. Yeah, it's the kind of the cultural flip that we have here in Australia, if you will. But we do have one fast food chain which has burritos, and the main one here in Australia is called Guzman and Gomez. Does that exist in America at all? GYG?
No.
I mean,
there's a bunch of Guzmans and Gomez's out here, but not the restaurants.
Hold on, I'm looking right now, Gene. Hold on. They do have it in the U.S.
They do?
They do have it in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm sure you guys would spit out the burrito if you had it here. I'm sure it doesn't hold up to what you guys eat. No.
I love food. I don't, even if it's not what I'm used to, I still love food. You know what I mean? I love Taco Bell. I don't know if you heard of that, Gene. But
we have it here. I've never been. We have it here. Yeah.
I like
That's
it. It's
actually
good.
what I had for dinner tonight. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised my cousin Ronnie doesn't have a tattoo of Taco Bell somewhere because he loves Taco Bell.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta. Oh no, I don't want to go wake up my wife, but I have a Taco Bell baseball jersey and a blanket upstairs in my room. But
You see what I mean? Taco Bell is good, Gene. You should try it, man.
Okay, I see.
Everybody's like, "Oh, that's not real Mexican food," but it is. They're
just
selling tacos and burritos. Like, what do you want?
just for your knowledge, Gene, I'm about 20 minutes from the border to Mexico. I literally
Okay.
can see it on my way to work every day.
Yeah, and he
Wow.
chooses Taco Bell over authentic
Yes.
Mexican food.
Okay,
No, but
gotcha,
it's a
gotcha.
mood thing. Sometimes you prefer it. You know what I mean?
Because if I'm gonna
Mhm.
get diarrhea, I'm at least gonna know what caused it. So
Right.
it'll be good to
So
go.
I've heard. So I've heard. Yeah.
And years of Taco Bell consumption, just you know how to handle it. You know exactly what your body's gonna do. You know how much time you got to get to a restroom. You know what I mean?
We had Taco Bell for dinner tonight.
Oh, look at that. That's tight. That is tight.
Um,
I could go for some Taco Bell, but they're closed.
Shout out to bagels. I had my first bagel in a hell of a long time, a cream cheese schmear. It was fantastic with a coffee. Yeah, there's a food thing.
Yeah, bagels are always great. You know,
They're
I
good,
don't
aren't
eat
they?
them that often, but
Yeah,
it's because I never think about them. But then when you get them, you're like, why don't I do this more often?
more often. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ronnie, your thoughts on bagels?
Um, Bagels are good. I mean, I haven't had a bagel in a long time, so I'm gonna have to go get some in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah. Go
Right.
revisit. Go revisit. It's like finding an old
I
friend.
like. I mean, you can't go wrong with a bagel sandwich, a fried egg, a fried bologna, between a piece of two bagels and
Yeah. You
hook
know
it
that
up.
I think it's Einstein Bagels. They got like a chorizo bagel sandwich, which is good. Pretty good. It's
Yeah.
decent, the chorizo's all
Yeah.
right, but I like it. You know what I mean? Jay put me onto that.
hmm hmm
Oh, shout out to Jay. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
So
to him.
yeah,
He's probably sleeping right now.
he probably is. Otherwise he would be here,
Go wake him up. Get him on the show.
Okay, I'll give him a call. No, no, no. Then he's gonna be mad, and then he's gonna disrespect the show on Twitter or wherever he does the show. But yeah, let's get into what's wax. You guys got any what's wax?
You know what's whack? My bulldog that's staring at me right now while I'm up
Oh,
at 2:39 in the morning.
you got a hater in studio?
Yeah, my bulldog, she's literally staring at me, farting. I've had to mute my phone a couple times because she's a loud one.
Did you does your dog have a lot of gas all the time, or is it
Yes, she
break,
does.
break,
She
break it down.
even more than
she
you? Because I know you, Ronnie.
no more than me. Like I'm
Whoa,
jealous.
that is bad. He's jealous.
Like me and Paco have a story a long time ago about a circulating fan and
Oh, I was about to say that, dude. This guy
it's
would
worse
go.
than that.
He would fart behind the fan. It was what?
It wasn't just me.
Well, you started it though. Everybody copied you after that.
Joined
You're the
it.
trendsetter.
Like a party
Farting behind the fan, dude. What's wrong with you, Ronnie? It's terrible.
So Gene, let me give you just a little insight on Paco. So
Please.
we're young, we weren't even teenagers, probably about 11, 12, 10. Before he started DJing, he had this little tape deck, and him and Jay one of them drew a little monkey sticker. Do you remember that on the tape? And you put it on your dresser drawer.
Oh yeah.
And that we used to record like sound effects from TV shows, and like use a tape deck to cut and mix on the tape deck.
Yeah, that was mostly Jay. I was just watching, but mostly Jay. It's called ghetto mixing with the two tapes and then pausing it and doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Got to love for the music. Yeah. Let me say, it's whack. It's whack when you're, just hanging out, probably playing GoldenEye or something, Nintendo 64. And then your cousin walks up and farts behind the fan. Oh, man. Yeah, but it's not whack. We used to have, GoldenEye parties, right? We play GoldenEye all the time.
Classic.
That Super Smash Brothers and WrestleMania 2000 for 64. Best game.
No one could beat me at WrestleMania 2000.
Well, I don't remember if I was good. I was probably not that good, but we got to play it
Have you
sometime. I don't know.
have you played that GoldenEye on Switch?
No, not yet. I don't have to
You
switch.
don't play it.
No, is it
Ooh,
garbage?
really?
It
Is it?
is. They like emulated it online through Nintendo Online, and it is not. You know what? That's what's whack. The new GoldenEye
Oh,
on
okay, good.
Nintendo Online, very whack.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Hear you. Hear you.
Gene, you have anything whack that you
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, I
that you
do. Yeah.
you wanna mention? I'm
The
sorry.
Olympics. The
The
Olympics are
Olympics.
whack. Yeah, the Olympics are fucking whack. Why I say this is that here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia,
Uh-huh.
um, the Olympics are coming in 2032. Yeah. So
Wow.
what happens to cities is that 10 to 12 years before they start reconstructing the whole goddamn entire city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brisbane's transport, its road system, its public transport and its road system is garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
They almost cancelled the Commonwealth Games on us because it was so horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Commonwealth Games. That doesn't even make sense to me.
We're in the Commonwealth, Queen's countries, Britain, New Zealand, Australia, Canada. That's the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant to the rest of the world. But the Olympics, everyone knows the Olympics. And so what happens, a good decade before, they start reconstructing the whole city, which they are doing to Brisbane. So all of the roads are fucked up. The public transport's fucked up. It's going to be this way for the next 9 or so years. And then they create this stadium, this monstrosity. So a bunch of dorky fucking athletes can come along for a month, roided out on steroids and bang each other and get little trinkets, and then go away again. And then they just don't use the actual building anymore, which costs millions and millions of dollars from the city, and then just leave it as a ruin. And there are these constructions, these stadiums, which are now basically ruins all around the goddamn world. And we, times are tough, if you will. We're suffering from economic hardship down here in Australia. There's a lot more homeless people in the CBD, in the central city, than there used to be. No doubt when it comes close to the time, give it 6 months before, they're all going to disappear suddenly. There's going to be no homeless people in the streets as the Olympic people move in. Yeah, so no, the Olympics are very much whack. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the Olympics. I don't watch the Olympics. Ronnie, your thoughts on the Olympics, please.
I've been to the Olympics in England when I lived in Germany for a little bit, but it's
Is it whack?
I mean, it's okay. I don't know. It's
basically, if you're into it, it's good.
Yeah. If you enjoy sport in the stadium watching, sure. It's everything around it, leading up to it.
Yeah. It's good for, showing whatever, like, pride in wherever you're from, but, you could do that in other ways.
Right. Without being so dorky, as Gene put it.
or tearing up all of your infrastructure and dumping all of your country.
That's what I'm pissed at. That's what I'm annoyed at. That's what's whack, yeah? And what they do to the homeless and all that sort of thing, and then just leave a ruin. If you're into the sports and you pride for the country and all the work you do to get there, sure. But what actual cities, governments do to put the Olympics in place and not give a fuck about what the damage that's left afterwards, before and afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? That was a good Olympic talk. You know what? We haven't had a good Olympic talk in a long time on this show, and I'm glad you brought it up, Gene. Because
well, Gene, when the Olympics get to Australia, the breakdancing will officially become an event by then. So, just an FYI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I might watch that. I might actually watch that part. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Ronnie's a breakdancing man. He's one of the best. Go ahead and tell him about your breakdancing, Ronnie.
I used to breakdance.
And there you have it.
Pretty much it.
Fascinating. Cool. Good story.
I remember back in the day, he would buy VHS tapes of breakdancing battles and stuff, and they were dope.
Yeah. My crew. Shout out to the Arizona Floor Assassins. They're probably all of us are old now in our 40s, so
maybe the kids are breakdancing. Yeah.
Well, they're still out there, but shout out to Melodrama crew. I know they're still doing stuff and all that back there. And yeah,
Sure.
shout out to Sour Patch. I know they're still doing stuff out there. So
Yeah.
Are the Jabba Wookiees, are they still a thing?
actually, yes. I was. We were at. We actually went to a WWE event last Sunday, and they're actually going to be performing at some event here in El Paso this
Oh,
month or next month.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's what's up. That's wonderful. Okay, we're gonna wrap the show up really soon here, but before we do, we always got to do a recommendation. Ronnie, do you have anything that you want to recommend? Movie, music, food, anything that you think that you should put people onto?
yes. So, all right. Um, Taco Bell. So what you there's a concoction I kind of made up.
Yeah.
So you get a chicken quesadilla.
Uh-huh.
You open it up, and you put 2 crunchy tacos inside of it. Then you close it.
Yeah.
Try it.
I might do that tomorrow or later on today when I wake up. Have Taco Bell for breakfast.
And it's only 712 calories, just an FYI. So for all you calorie conscious individuals, tacos are only 160 in the quesadilla. So just an FYI.
That's great. You know what? I will keep that in mind. Gene, go ahead and give us a recommendation.
Sure, absolutely. I recommend Chucky.
Chucky, the movie or the doll? Or?
Yeah, just okay. Just Chucky.
Is that your boyfriend? Or no? I'm just go ahead.
Yeah, okay. No, I recommend Chucky, the TV show, the TV series. There's 2 seasons out now. If you are a Child's Play fan, a fan of Chucky, the franchise, the horror icon, the doll himself at all, and you haven't checked out the TV show and you've been wondering, can it be any good? It's fucking great. It's brilliant. It's funny. It's brutal. And what they actually do is I'm not going to call it woke or politically correct, but it is current and relevant to today. It meets with today's, kind of sensibilities without being whack about it. They actually create a balance. They're pretty much the first ones to do it, certainly in terms of horror. And if I can just do my little plug, because you asked about my socials, I'm going to drop it here live and exclusive on Paco's Power Hour. I am going to be starting up a new podcast, and my first episode will be covering the original Child's Play from the 80s. Yeah. And there'll be much other Chucky-based content dropped on the show. So there you go. Chucky.
Wonderful.
I'll tune into that.
Ronnie, your thoughts on this recommendation?
Thank you.
I'm not a big horror fan because of Child's Play. When I was a kid, someone's dad over there, Paco, I think he played it for us when we were younger, and it kind of terrified us off that movie. So, but yeah, it did its job. I'll say that.
Oh, that's good. I don't have any thoughts on that. I don't watch Chucky. I never really watched it. I don't care for it, so I don't have any thoughts. And I'm gonna go ahead and give a recommendation. I recommend the new Super Mario Brothers movie. That movie is great. It's awesome. It's hilarious, and it's not like I literally laughed out loud. At some parts, and with the kids movies, they try to make some like really hacky jokes, and sometimes they're just like not that funny. But this movie was great. Almost everything hit. Every joke, everything. It was great. Basically, yeah. So I recommend the Super Mario film. You guys have any thoughts on that film?
I've heard it's great. Yeah, from everyone who's watched it so far. Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of Mario Kart in it, which is one of the greatest games ever. Right. So I'm kind of keen for it just because of that, because I love that game. But I've heard surprisingly very good things. Everyone's really surprised how well they actually pulled this movie off. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ronnie?
Great movie. We watched it. Yeah, we watched it 2 weeks ago when it came out. Wyatt loved it. If anything that can keep a 5-year-old in his seat for 2 hours. Definitely interesting, but I loved it. Loved all the voiceover characters. Jack Black did a good job. I didn't know how I was going to feel about the person that voiced Mario, but they did a really good job as well. So, and they had a lot of throwback shout outs to like Jumpman and the old, Donkey Kong and, some of the old, like Kid Icarus was in there.
Oh yeah, I saw
Mario's
that.
playing it in his bedroom. So there's a lot of like old Nintendo NES like shout outs. So it's a good movie.
Yeah, Charlie. I think Charlie Day was great as Luigi. You know what I mean?
Was there Wario?
Yes.
Was Wario in it?
No.
Ah, that's a shame.
But there's probably gonna be another one coming out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're projecting it to make like $1 billion. It's supposed to be the most profitable animated movie of all time.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Mario is widely relatable. Almost everybody loves to play Mario.
Yeah.
It's hard to
I will
hate
ask
him.
a question of you, Paco. When you went to the movies, was it packed?
No, dude, because I went like a week later, like at 11 a.m.
We went at noon the weekend it premiered, and it was.
Oh wow!
I literally waited in line, and I missed I missed all the previews in the first 5 minutes of the movie because I was waiting for popcorn.
Dude, the best part is 5 minutes of the movie, the first 5 minutes.
And then we went to see John Wick last week, and the same thing, extremely packed because of Mario. They had like 7 theaters playing it.
Jesus.
So
sure. I've got to see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Number 4 is good.
Yeah, John Wick is really good. I actually liked it. I don't want to spoil it. Have you seen it, Paco?
No, I'm planning to see it soon though.
It's really good. I like Donnie Yen. He's in the movie. I'm a very big Donnie Yen fan. So he played Ip Man in first couple of Ip Man movies.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a very big Donnie Yen fan. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to say anything without spoiling any of the movie, but it's really good.
Good. That sounds great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Anybody have any last thoughts or final words or go ahead, Gene.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion for an album. Cots. Billy drops next Friday. Yeah, the 28th.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was going to suggest just throw it out there. We can discuss it off air. But before then, because I would like to give a few days, a week or at least a few days of listening to Billy rather than record it on the day it drops, because I want to give it proper time. Right. What about a build up to that of Violent by Design, the classic Jedi Mind's Tricks album?
Classic.
Yes.
Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we could do that same time next week. I mean, I'm down for that. You know what I mean, Ronnie? Maybe,
works for me.
All right, great. Yes, we'll re-listen to that album and give our thoughts on it. You know what I mean?
Excellent. Right.
So basically, that's it, man. We're gonna take off. I got to use the restroom pretty bad. I've been trying to hold it, but you know what? You gotta go sit down and feel it.
As soon as we get off, I'm gonna call Jay and then hang up on him just to see if he wakes up.
He's gonna be mad at you.
I'm gonna call him from Australia.
I'm gonna block my number so he doesn't know it's me.
And he's gonna watch this one day. He's a big fan of the show. I'm his inspiration for a lot of things.
Can you black out my picture so he doesn't know it's me?
Well, yeah, and I'll alter your voice and I'll bleep out your name when I say it.
I'll just say I'm Superfish.
Then he's gonna know it's you, dude. Oh, all right, guys. We'll see you guys later, huh?
All right. Peace.
Bye.